All right, hey, this is Art Jonak. I'm in California, and I'm here with Mr. Eugene Hong. How you doing? I guess we do this thing around here, right? Originally from Hawaii, now he's here in California. And Eugene is a $1 Million Club member. He's at the very top of his pay plan in his company. And his life looks significantly different today than it did when he first got started in network marketing. So I wanted to share with you his story so that you can pick up some ideas, some belief, and overall just enjoy what a cool guy he is and how somebody that's pretty laid back, very centered, can make it to the very top of the plant. So Eugene, let's start in the beginning. What did you do before you joined network marketing?
Before network marketing, I was actually flipping chickens, Art. Not literally, but in the beginning I was. I've had a restaurant and food catering business for about 13 years, which I still currently own today.
So flipping chickens on
the grill, up in a festival or a farmer's market or some catering event that we do.
So you got a large grill, a bunch of chickens, the smells
Very
going through
delicious,
the air,
yes.
people showing up, you're going to festivals, you're doing the same thing.
Right.
So you're a naturally outgoing people person.
Well, not naturally. In fact, it got me to become better at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had to learn the skill of talking to people. I've seen photos of the chicken.
Yes.
I hope to one day taste it. Hello. But it's awesome. And so you did that, and then you were successful at it.
Sure. Yeah. It was very difficult in the beginning, like all things, but I think toward the 8th year, things got really better. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So towards the 8th year, things got better. You didn't quit after the first year, the second, the fourth, or the 8th year. The chicken business and the chicken, grill business started to take off. And it's a successful business to this day. So how did you go from a successful restaurant entrepreneur to this network marketing thing?
Well, I was very skeptic of that type of business because I didn't really understand it. But the thing that really got me to me was because I was working 7 days a week, over 100 hours a week. And I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. Right. I became a slave to my own business. And when you're young, it's cool, but toward the 8th year, when things start to do really well, I just got tired. I didn't have time to spend time with my friends, my family. And it was basically a slave to my own business.
Right. So if you guys are watching this and you know somebody that's got 100 hours a week into their job, their business, their strip mall, beauty salon, whatever it may be, this is a video that they might want to watch, right? And maybe you're in that situation. So how did you get approached about network marketing? So how so we know how would we approach somebody that's got a successful business, putting in 100 hours. What did the approach look like?
Well, I was at a farmer's market, evening market, and I had a customer that came in every week, and they bought food from me every week, and small chit chat here and there. And then I was approached to this type of business, and I was busy, so I didn't spend much time to it at all. But it got to a point where I got annoyed. I was being annoyed, and he started calling me, and I was just too busy to do anything.
Right.
I didn't want to accept his call. I was just too busy to do my business.
Right.
And then one time, after 4 months of constantly talking about the business, he said, "Hey, do me a favor, and I promise you I will leave you alone if you just attend one event." And for me, that was the kicker. I said, really? Okay, I'll go, I'll be there. So that's what happened.
Okay, so here's a couple of clues in that story. One, if you're looking to approach a successful business person, maybe the first cold call approach may not be the best. Of course, it can work sometimes. Everything works sometimes. But this person was a regular customer.
Yes.
So wasn't a warm market, but it was a connection. There was a connection there, so there was still this respect thing. And then ultimately become really annoying. And then becomes so annoying that they say that you can use the line, if you just come to this one meeting, I'll never bug you again, and it'll work. So there we go.
It did work.
That's what he said. So you came to the meeting and you joined.
Yes. One thing I was really fond of is the leverage that I never had. And that's something that really attracted me because I had none. So that was a big thing for me.
That's what you saw.
Yes.
The ability to get 1% of 100 people's efforts versus 100 hours a week of your own.
Exactly.
So you joined, and now let's go into your career. At one point inside of your network marketing career, did you say, you know what? I'm going to roll up my sleeves. I'm serious about this. I'm going to go chase my dream inside the network marketing profession. Well, what point were you at? How many months or years were you in before that decision happened for you?
Well, it really happened to me in year 3.
Year number 3.
Toward the end of year number 3.
Okay.
And that's when I really decided to really put things into motion. Of course I was busy, but I kept on doubting myself because the amount of hours and work do I put into it, and what's the return on it?
Right.
So it was one of those things where I'm not too sure. But year 3 is when I really dedicated everything toward it, and that's when things started to happen.
Why?
Because I really focus on my why. Exactly.
Which was why?
Well, my why is who my parents are. Growing up in the Asian community in Hawaii as well, our parents were everything. They took care of us. It's a very nuclear family. You know what I mean? And when we had an incident where we lost our house, we foreclosed. My biggest why was getting back a house for my parents and retiring them early. Because even though I started my own business, in my other business, conventional business, they were still coming out helping me build that.
Right.
So it was real painful to see me working with me in the trenches, and yeah, it was real painful.
Okay. So the why was, let me take care of the parents that were helping me during this time for me to be a successful restaurant entrepreneur. And just listen to that story. If you're looking at somebody that owns a restaurant, you think, wow, they got it made, that was easy for them. No, it was an 8-year journey. Parents are coming in to help, friends are coming in to help, you're putting in 100 hours, and you're still chasing that job. You're still there. And so network marketing was an option. 3 years in, why did you hang out those 3 years? Why did you decide to hang around until that moment when you decided to turn it on?
That's a good question. As I got obviously busier with my other businesses, I just pretty much had enough. I want something better, and I couldn't continue doing that. And I knew because my mentor, he had the lifestyle. He had everything, and that's something that really attracted me. I need what he had. So I knew that if I want to get what he had, I had to do the things that he did.
Right.
And that's when I started to really put in every single time where we're waiting tables, doing this. Every single time that I would put into network marketing business. Every single time. And the hours went from all day long. So imagine working 100 hours and still doing that. And every single time, every break, every lunch break, I'm over there making calls and talking to people and really, trying to follow the system.
So, here's a gentleman, got 100 hours in. Very valid reason to say, I don't have the time.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody would say, hey, Eugene, you said you got 100. Yeah, of course. He could have easily fallen back on, I don't have the time. And a lot of people around him would have bought into his excuse. His mentor didn't. You didn't, but it would have been easy to do. Everybody would have left you off the hook. So as you're building, what was one of the challenges that you ran across that you weren't expecting?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, during my business run, I never thought this would happen, but when we first started, I had 8 diamonds in my organization.
Yeah, a significant rank in the plan.
It was awesome. The feeling was great. And then all of a sudden, they quit. Within a few months, they all left.
All of them?
All of them left. And I was in a situation where, do I quit? Do I continue?
Right.
What do I do? And I think because of the strong bonds that I had with the company and with my mentor, that if he's going to do it, I'm going to go all the way with it. And we just start to rebuild and rebuild. And what we did is we had to start from scratch and make the events and do the event after event to make it fun. And that leads into how we built this culture that we have here today.
Okay, so just to, you weren't expecting everybody to quit.
No.
Okay, so one, here we are, we're building, we're serious, you think you're well on your way, you've got 8 diamonds, within a few month period, they're gone.
Yeah.
So lesson to me, what I hear is one, your mentor was all in. It didn't matter if they left or not, he's going after his vision. You bought into that.
Yeah.
He said, I'm all in as well. So let's go do it. And the remedy to that challenge was action.
Yes.
Right? Would you say that's right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So what's one of the skill sets that either you had or you had to develop that really serves you well to get you to where you are today? Super successful, within your company at the top of the pay plan.
That's a good question, Art. And I think going back in my childhood, there's a lot of situations where I had to lead a group, either with scouting or ROTC or martial arts, whatever I did. I was always in a position where I had to lead the group.
Okay.
And it took turns. We took turns as kids, and when it was my turn to lead, I felt excited because I had a chance to do something. And I was good at doing it when you're young. And I remember we had this conversation earlier, right? You gotta continue what you do good.
That's right.
Yeah.
So there's a book called Lynchpin by Seth Godin we were talking about, and says, go find what you were good at when you were young and cultivate that. and you're going to do well. So there's a homework assignment for you. That's what we were talking about earlier
I gotta
when
be
we
good
weren't
at
filming. But yeah, so you saw that that's what you were good at early on. So how were you different doing leading the group than maybe some of the other kids that were leading groups?
It depends on circumstances, obviously. But a lot of time I would do it with them.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So we would do it from scratch, and we'll show them how to do it, and then that would, again,
So in the scouts and the in
Right.
martial arts,
Sure.
you show them how to do it. So how did that translate into your network marketing business?
obviously, doing our business, it's by having massive action. And my mentor, taught me that, hey, if you want things done, you have to have massive action. So I put some of the skills that I was good at to use by going out there and showing them what needs to be done, and then setting that as an example to say, this is what needs to be done, and to duplicate that as well.
Right.
So I would lead by example and actually show them how it's done.
Okay, so you partnered with them.
Yes.
So an example of that would be, we were talking about this earlier, is you say, hey, Amy, you just joined, make your prospect list and then go contact them. Well, I was guilty of that. I'd tell people, go do that. And then, okay, bye, I'm going to go have dinner. And what happened to Amy? She, the birds got her. But what you do, and what I've learned to do, and I had to learn this, but his was the natural talent of Eugene's, which he could use, was that he would say, make the list, let's make the list together, right? So you're partnering with them, and now let's go contact the people together,
Yes.
partnering together, just like you did when. So there's a skill set that I think is pretty important to develop if you don't have it, and if you have it, continue to to nurture it. All right. So in closing, what does life look like now compared to when you weren't in network marketing or when you got started?
Wow, that's a big one there, Art. I guess I could say one word. It's really time freedom. It's something I never had. I could never take more than a 3-day vacation. It's usually that Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Right.
and I'm back into work, back in the grind. With network marketing now, I mean, a week, 2 weeks. I mean, anything is possible. And
Right.
I never had that type of freedom. So I'm like a kid in the candy store. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the beauty about it, because I saw my mentor did that and what he's done, and I'm like, wow, it's unbelievable for me. Wake up when you're done sleeping and really just enjoy life and to do things that I could never do. Spend time with my family. We go to the movies every week together.
Nice.
Spend really quality time with the family and really enjoy life.
Yeah.
So
So let me take you back to your why. One of the whys was my parents,
Yeah.
they helped me out, then tough times happen. And guess what? Tough times happen for a lot of people. So you can be here, and then all of a sudden the economy changes, things change, job changes, and you're here. And that's the story of the princess, right? She's in the castle, and then the evil witch takes her, and then she goes back to the castle, lives happily ever after. Not always is the story happily ever after, but here we have a happily ever after type story. Tell me about your parents. Where did they, what were you able to do for them just recently?
it was a long, I think, over a 20-year journey that we finally accomplished, and that was to buy them a brand new house.
Okay.
So for them, it was huge, and their why was my why.
Right.
So it was big. It was huge.
And I saw a picture of it, and it's just the smiles on the faces are just absolutely fantastic. So there's just a snippet into the story. Obviously, the journey's longer with many more ups and downs and
Right.
heartaches and stories. I watch you, through Facebook vicariously. You've been to Houston. We've been to a Dynamo game, and Eugene travels wherever his team needs him. He's there. And I can tell you, one of the things that really attracted me to you as a leader is that when I see members of your team, there is a level of respect that they have for you. There is a level of adoration, but it's not a worship. It's I respect you, Eugene, for what you've accomplished, for the time you take, for being in our living rooms, for traveling whatever it takes. That is special. And I want to just, acknowledge you for becoming that kind of a leader where you have that from your team. And so this is Art Jonak. I'm here with Mr. Eugene Hong. We're getting a little emotional because it's a people business, but that's really what it's about. I can't wait to see where this journey continues to take you over the next 100 years down the road, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Very honored.
Peace out.
Thank you.